Hi, Deacon John Wilson here, Education Enrichment Director for West Sanders Church. I'm here with a good friend of ours now. I think we have a lot of overlapping concerns. Maria Luisa Palma, that local TV star. Well, not really, just news broadcaster too, but still. Are you making good trouble still? Or are you pretty much those days gonna be over?
Well, there are very few meetings right now during the summer, so kind of get a little chance to take some downtime, a little.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Now, you know, I'm coming to you now to talk to you and another person on here. I'm trying to get Larry Christensen on to talk about what is this ruling, this signing of this bill? Because it's the most weirdly worded bill. I mean, what you're doing is just a double negative, right? You're saying what schools and teachers, I assume teachers, are not allowed to do. Isn't that right? What are they not allowed to do?
Well, the way that I read it as that the districts can't force the staff to tell parents about their kids' gender expression. Because Chino Valley School District had a policy where they said that the teachers had to tell the parents. So this was in direct opposition to that district policy.
I'm trying to find a way to be winsome. There's a book behind my shoulder over there called Winsome Convictions. You know, I'm a Christian man, but I try to be winsome on these things, like kind of wise. Is that bill a problem for some families?
Absolutely, it's a problem. The Chino Valley School District already filed a lawsuit claiming a violation of constitutional rights.
Well, they did.
Yes, they did.
Okay, because I was wondering if there's any legal recourse. Go ahead.
And so they claimed that it violates the parents' constitutional rights under the 14th Amendment, due process rights. Also that it's a violation of parents' rights under FERPA, which is the Family Educational Rights and Privacy Act, where
I think that one's stronger than the Constitution even.
Well, there supposedly parents have a right to review their kids' records and correct anything in the record, but now they're being told that, see, they're creating this alternative record, like an unofficial record of the student's name. And that's what LA Unified has in their own policies, by the way.
We'll get to them in a minute. Go ahead. You know I'm gonna get to them.
So basically but this forces it at the state law level, so it keeps individual school districts from being able to pass policies that fit with their communities, because it takes away that right of the district to set up the policy at a community level.
So parents' rights are being eroded again a little here, eroded a little bit.
Well, absolutely. I mean, and like I said, there are already districts that are already doing what the state wants to have happen in practice, but now districts that want to do something different. Remember, the school board members are elected officials from the community.
That's right. Or if they change their mind. What if the LA school board changes its mind?
Well, now they can't under the law, the way it's been written, this new law.
So if I'm a teacher, well, this raises a couple of questions. So if I'm a teacher and a student is presented to me as female who was male before, am I breaking the law if I tell the parent?
I don't know. You know, that's a really good question, because I'm reading it, and the way I read it is that it says that the district can't force the staff to disclose it. They can't require the staff to disclose it, and that the staff can't be retaliated against on a personnel basis for not disclosing it. I don't think it technically says that they can't disclose it, but I don't know. I think that's a great question. I can't tell.
I just have a feeling the teachers' unions are going to pressure them not to do it.
Yeah.
But I got a lot of Christian teachers that are ready to rebel. They say they want to tell their parent anyway. I didn't know what to tell them. I was stunned.
That's a tough call, because that was what those teachers fought in, I think it was Escondido School District. That was their exact issue, right? That they felt that their rights were being violated because they wanted to disclose it. So I
Wow,
think
this is heavy.
this is going to go on. I think this is a tricky business, right? And in practice, parents want to know. And then I always think that this comes down to the same concept that it's my biggest issue overall with the state of public education, that I feel like the school districts always want to deal with the lowest common denominator. So they want to make this assumption that they apply to every single family, that all parents are bad, that parents are not acting in the best interest of their kids. Just the same way they do it with the academic level. They always assume that kids are mediocre, that their abilities are mediocre.
Correct. You and I have talked about that in math or whatever.
And so here it's like they want to assume that all parents are going to do something bad to their kids if their parents find out, you know, that the kid wants to change their name, for example. And so instead of acknowledging that the vast majority of parents are good parents and want to do the very best for their kids, and so they're getting in the way of between their kids and the parents. That's my personal opinion.
Those of you watching this, I'm doing this a little backwards. Just heard from Maria Luisa Palma, who is they should know I'm gonna call her. I called this before. She didn't say nothing, so I'm doing it again. She's like a parent advocate activist. It's what she is. I'm about maybe parents, y'all know me, because I've been on the end of getting kids ready more so. So I'm about a year and a half behind her, but whatever. Because I really want to fight for your rights as parents, and that's why I'm, as you know, I'm doing things in the community. Now, you just said something that's interesting to me, Sister Maria. I think I want to go this way with it. We have this new thing, I don't know if you're aware, called mandated reporter, where I feel the hell I want people to do it. Apparently, you required us January 1st, if you're a worker with youth, to tell the authorities of any abuse you see. Now, see, I think that's adequate protection. I think that if they think a kid is not being treated right at home, they can report it. You know, maybe I'm being dumb. I don't know. Maybe I'm on the wrong thing. Do you see any way that families? Because if a family, I'm sorry, to go a little further. If a family is raising a kid right and putting the right gender models in front of them and talking to their children, it's just so much influence from social media and their peers. And in the school, they're giving gender ideology.
Well, I think what this does, though, is it creates this other environment for a kid to be able to effectively shield their actions from their parents. And
Ooh, good way of saying
it. And then, so once that option is available to a kid who, you know, I mean, come on, kids don't always like what their parents say or what their parents want them to do or try to force them to do. We know that that's normal and natural. But if a kid then is being given the opportunity to do something behind their parents' back, maybe they do. And so that's, I think, the parents' concerns is that why is this somehow allowed to be a secret? Because effectively that's what it becomes. There's this other record that isn't the legal record. And so the kids get to determine this and make that decision and be called by this other name, this other pronoun, and they can use the bathrooms and the lockers of their chosen gender identity. It's not just a name.
And so they're in their social studies class.
Well, they hear all this stuff as well, but they physically can use the other bathroom or the other locker.
Yeah, I know, that's right.
So this is not just like, what is your name and what do you want to be called? This is something much more than that. And how do these school districts and lawmakers square that with effectively it's keeping secrets from parents?
Wow. See, I hadn't even thought about that. So really, it's creating another place for this rise in students thinking they have different genders than they really have. Wow. So I wrote that down because I don't want to forget that. So I'm definitely going to gonna do that. What I'm doing is I'm putting together as a member of the Faith-Based Advisory Council, which by the way is not meeting in the summer. I thought I would write a letter to Carvalho about the existing policies that this thing passing, maybe think about what's going on right now. And what is the current state of condition in the LAUSD, or have you been telling me?
Well, this LAUSD has been operating this way for some time in their district policies. So this was already what the district has been doing. The district students at LA Unified can pick their name, their pronouns, and they can use the restrooms of their choice without.
They have been telling the parents.
No. And I don't think very many parents know that this policy exists at the district. I don't think they know. I have parents I talk to sometimes and they can't believe it. And they don't know to ask because they don't think that that could be a possibility. But I think at least this law passing the AB 1955, I think it's bringing it out into the news and into the discussion. So I think some more parents are going to start to be aware of what's going on with this. At least I think that can come of it. This lawsuit that was filed against it. So at least it starts to get it into the news, into the parents' consciousness. I think that could be a positive here.
Political question. Are you surprised that Newsom signed it?
I guess
I'm naive. I was surprised. Go ahead.
I held out hope that maybe he wouldn't, because I mean, the state as a whole is losing students. All the school district enrollment numbers continue to shrink. More and more people are homeschooling.
He knows that. He knows that. Go ahead.
And now you have Elon Musk saying he's moving his companies out of California. So now we're going to lose more tax revenue. And
I saw articles saying no, he won't and all that, but I know somebody who works for SpaceX. I think he's going to do it.
And so he has the power to do that. And so we have enough problems with the state tax deficit, the budget deficit. All our school districts are operating on a deficit for this coming school year. So we are hurting our school districts even more financially by these decisions, because people will make choices. You know, how many families are moving out of state? The families that have the means, they don't want these policies, or at least they homeschool, right? They are doing whatever they can to be in control of their children's education. At least the parents that have more information, that know about this and want to be in control, that's what they're doing. And so that hurts our public schools then. But the school boards, they want to keep as many kids inside the district. They don't want them to go to the independent charter schools again, because they lose revenue. But yet they continue to do this stuff. They pass policies, everything with lacking safety, the bad academic records, everything is hurting the kids more and more. So they are creating this loss of enrollment.
Man, sort of a final question. I don't know, depends on how you answer this. You already surprised me twice, so I had to go to another question. Do you think that does this lawsuit have to, it's going to go all the way in? It's going to go all the way to the Supreme Court, isn't it?
You know, I have no idea, because we see things every day now that are very surprising. I would hope that others would file other challenges to this and to other laws, other things that are going on. But it's anybody's guess. I certainly hope it gets challenged, because they filed it as a federal, it's a violation of the Constitution and a federal law. So I certainly hope that it gets attention. But parents need to become involved. They need to know what's going on at their schools and ask questions and be present in their kids' lives and at their schools. I think that has a chance of turning the tide and changing this dynamic where the parents are just left out in the cold and they don't know what's going on at their schools, bottom line.
I have a couple of activist things I want to do. I've talked to you about offline here, because I'll talk to you about it. All right, well, I guess you want to say anything more? But I don't know what else has to be said.
No,
I'm going to do a video on it, parents, telling you obviously I'm opposed to it. And I'm going to tell you now, Thank you very much, Maria. 6 reasons why I'm opposed to it. I got 2 more today. But is there anything we missed that I should ask you about?
I think it would be very interesting to hear from your faith-based committee. What do other leaders there think?
Oh, good point. That's a good idea. I'm going to ask them.
Because
I'm finding the faith-based committee that I'm on, other than me, was handpicked. And I feel that there are a lot of people that wish I would just shut up sometimes. I don't care. I'm saying this on video. I don't care.
I feel that way about my presence on the parent committees, but I'm no longer going to be on them because my son graduated.
That's right. That's right. But you're planning to do some things in the area of helping parents and people understand
Absolutely
the cost of schools, how to read the budget.
I'll continue to be.
I forgot we're going to have you come speak. I'll put you up.
Yeah, and I'll continue to speak at the board meetings and so forth. So I'm not going away, but I'm just not going to officially be able to serve on the
jump
parent
up at the board meetings like I do in Long Beach, even though you don't have a kid.
Yep, I'll still be there. Yep.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Maria. And look, if you all are seeing this, you like this kind of content, the only way I know is if you like the video and subscribe. But give me a comment too. Last time you had some very pithy comments when she was here. I have to forward them to her next time. But thank you very much, Maria. I appreciate it. And we'll be in touch really soon. Hope not too soon on some other strange issue, but it'll be okay, I guess.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate this opportunity to chat. It was great.
Right.
Thanks.
Okay.